Brothers and sisters, our today's subject of the conference is the occultism of the zodiac. Occultism of the zodiac. Occultism. We generally know the meaning of the words spiritualism and occultism, but let us try to know what occultism is, particularly within the first 2 or 3 minutes. Exactly what we mean by the word Kriya Yoga, occultism has the same meaning. So you can exactly equate the two terms for the following reason. The word Kriya means action or to do something. Occultism also exactly means to do something, to follow a path, not only mentally and intellectually, but also by way of action, that is to practice in daily life, so that our attitudes may be rectified and purified, and the conditioning of the mind is released, and liberation from our complexes is effected. No amount of philosophy or theology is enough to do this. There should be some practical procedure to follow, and yesterday we have seen some aspects of that practical procedure. A change should take place in the psychological setup of the spiritual student. It is very, very difficult to take a total change of the basic psychological setup. It is called transformation. That is, the formation of the psychological capsule should be, we bring our psychological capsule from our previous births, and unless we are ready to follow a scientific path accepted by the traditionalists and tried and verified through thousands of years, we cannot hope to have a transformation of our psychology, as a result of which every one of us will be having his own psychological setup, which has nothing to do with the others. It is like the handwriting of everyone, which differs from the handwriting of another. It is like the signature of everyone, which differs from the signature of another. Of course, handwriting and signature are useful for worldly purposes. For example, if we go to a bank, unless we have our own signature and identification of it, our papers will not be honored. Only for such lower purposes signature is required. It is what is called identification. But in spiritualism it is not required. What is required is identity with the Lord. We have seen the meaning of the word Lord, who is omnipresent, who exists in every one of us, who is defined as the indweller of the heart and lungs, who is described as the light of love. And we have to make an approach to him. That is the purpose of spiritualism, and occultism is the practical aspect of it, a scientific approach through action and work. Therefore, it is not different from what we called Kriya Yoga yesterday. Now, today, we will go into a little detail of how to use the zodiac for this purpose. That is, what are we to do with the knowledge of the zodiac? Are we to understand what our sun sign is and what our ascendant is and moon sign is, and believe that our signs are the greatest, and take a beastly pride of our astrological signs? Yes, everyone generally in the beginning is inclined to believe that his astrological sign is the best in the zodiac, and in every astrological book he refers to his own signs and then he fails to go through the other signs. For example, if my sun sign is Leo, I am inclined to believe that Leo is the royal sign and that it is the best of all the 12 astrological signs. And all the other 11 are a little bit inferior to my sign. Is this for this purpose astrology is required, or is there a positive purpose? A purpose which is quite different from the predictive aspect of it, because the age-old science of astrology is very, very sacred, and the fact that the world scriptures include astrology as the basis indicate that astrology has a greater significance than what we understand. And also, as we go deep into astrology and as we understand the occultism of astrology, that is, if we can use the astrological procedure as a sacrament, we should understand the meaning of occultism and sacrament. For example, the true man of Christ baptizes a child. What is its meaning? The consciousness of the child should expand. Then it is called baptism. Otherwise the procedure is rather mechanical and religious. Same thing with astrology also. Astrology can be used for many purposes, the cheapest and the lowest of which is prediction. We can use it for predictive purposes as far as the medical purposes and such purposes are concerned. For example, when to undergo a surgical operation, when not to undergo, when to approach a doctor and when not to approach, and what to do in this life and what to avoid, what are our strong points and what are our weak points. This is what is called the approach to oneself. So astrology is a key to know thyself. But unless we can make a sacrament through astrological procedure, unless we submit ourselves to a peculiar process, the complexes with which we are born are not broken. Unless they are broken, we cannot understand the real meaning of occultism. We can understand God and spiritualism also only from our own point of view, which is false. We believe that we are meditating God, but generally what we are meditating is our own idea of God and not the true God. And my own impression of God will appear to me through the colors of my glasses. I think my God is of brown color or red or blue because my glasses are colored. This is what is called complex. For example, if I do not like my friend Marcel and he too hates me because I hate him, suddenly he undergoes an occultism of astrology. He submits himself to a sacrament of Kriya Yoga. Then suddenly he breaks his shell and he himself approaches me and says, I was disliking you all these days because you are disliking me. From today I don't dislike you. We want to be brothers on the spiritual field. And he gives me a shake hand. Then suppose I have not undergone the sacrament. What happens? I remain unchanged. Tomorrow when my friend is going in the street, I turn my face to some other side and I escape from speaking to him because I am not inclined to get changed. These are what are called psychological complexes which no psychologist on earth can help us, and no amount of theology can help us. Even though we study all the Old Testament and the 4 Gospels, I place my hand without seeing the fellow and go my way because I fear he will talk to me as a brother. So we are expected to make a sacrament. This is what is called the meaning of sacrament. A procedure which makes our consciousness expand, and any such procedure is called Kriya Yoga in Sanskrit, and in popular English it is called occultism. Each procedure is called a sacrament, and every religion has its own sacraments, and astrology also has its own sacraments. It is in this sense that astrology should be used for occultism. If we go into any textbook of astrology, we have the 12 signs of the zodiac and the planets. Yesterday I hinted to you that there is a key in Bhagavad Gita to approach the astrological signs and how to use them. Now we will go into the astrological key and the way in which we are to use it as far as possible. First, we go into the symbols of popular astrology. If you stand on this earth, every day you have your east, your west, and the position of mid-heaven and the position of the bottom. The sun rises to us in the east, comes to the mid-heaven when it is noon, sets in the west, and then goes to the bottom when it is midnight. These 4 are called the cardinal points which are governing our mentality and personality. The time and the place of our birth, they point out to the 4 corners of the space around us. And those planets and stars that exist on the 4 corners, they work as the hours on the watch. Just as we have the watch and its hours, like this we have our watch and the hours. So these 4 corners indicate the planets and the zodiacal signs that indicate our mentality, our individuality, and our personality. These 3 things have a continuity: mentality, individuality, and personality. They come from our previous births and they form a way to our next birth. So they indicate us in which state of evolution we are for the present. They are like the hours in the watch. They never indicate a fate that is inevitable, but they indicate what hour in our evolution is taking place and what is the purpose of our present birth and what is it that we are to do in this life. This is the purpose of astrology. And if you take the egg in the mother's womb where you were fertilized before your birth, first your head was formed out of the spermatozoa, and then a tail came down, and then the spinal cord, and then the depressions of your eyes, nose, mouth, etc. And then the whole body through the period of 9 months. And if the planets at the time and place of your fertilization are taken into account, the east indicates where your head is in your mother's womb, and The midnight position indicates where your heart and lungs are in your position in the mother's womb, and the west indicates your lower organs, that is from the navel to the base center, and the meridian indicates the position of your knees. These are the 4 points, and you have to imagine your position in the mother's womb and superimpose it upon the position of the zodiacal signs and planets at the time of your birth. This part of science is called the science of correspondences. That is, the order of God exists as above, so below. And you have to use this knowledge for your meditation to create a sacramental value to your psychological setup. It should break the existing psychological shell, and just as the chicken becomes ready in the egg, has its own layers of the eggshell, we have 3 layers around ourselves, which we are expected to break and come out. And it is for this purpose astrology is used. Let us take the 12 signs of the zodiac at first, starting with Aries, Taurus. Like this, if you take into account all the 12 signs, each sign has its correspondence in your body. Aries has correspondence with your head, Taurus with your face and the voice, Gemini with your vocal cords, Cancer to your lungs and chest, Leo to your heart and diaphragm, and Virgo to your gaster, that is belly above the navel, Libra the region of your navel, Scorpion to your genitals and rectum, Sagittarius to your thighs, Capricornus to your knees. In English they are called knees. Aquarius to your calves, and Pisces to your feet. These are used by the astrologers to know which part is strong and which part is weak by birth. For example, the part that is occupied by good planets is good, and the part that is occupied by bad planet is bad. This is only a rough way of using astrology, because it is great ignorance to believe that there are good planets and bad planets. If the criminal believes that the police is a bad fellow, it indicates his criminal mentality. It never indicates that the police is a bad fellow. Similarly, if someone thinks that Saturn or Mars are bad planets, it indicates his backward stage in evolution, and one has to take a different view if you want to use them for occultism. You meditate upon each symbol on the given part of your body for each month for 1 year. This is the first step of the occultism of the zodiac. For example, the sun enters the sign Aries on March 21st, and until April 20th he exists in the sign of Aries. Like this, he exists in each sign for 1 month, which you can very easily understand from an ordinary textbook of astrology. And begin your occult practice on March 21st. One of the 4 cardinal timings of the day. That is either at the time of sunrise, or midday or sunset or zero time, that is midnight. You take any one of these four timings and meditate upon the sign of Aries in your head with these two as your eyebrows and the vertical line as your nose. For 1 month you practice this, and the moment when the sun enters into Taurus, from that day onwards you meditate upon the sign of Taurus with the lower portion of the circle as your chin and the other things as your face, and the other parts as your face. And upper, yes. And in the third month, that is from May 21st to June 20th, you have to meditate upon your vocal cords and the bronchus and the hands, the sign of Gemini. And then the next month, that is from June 22nd, for 1 month, meditate upon your chest and the respiration, the sign of Cancer. Like this you take 1 full year and meditate upon the 12 signs during the 12 months, when there is the process of expansion taking place in you. That is, one of the 3 layers of the egg shell will be broken. This is true only for those who practice what we said yesterday. That is, only the students of occultism will have the benefit, not others. Yesterday we discussed about the practice of certain virtues and the scientific process of total surrender and the utterance of the sacred word. The zodiac meditation is intended only for those students. Others may also derive a little bit of benefit, but not the intended effects. So others also can practice them with some betterment in their health and mental outlook, but unless one practices occultism in a full-fledged way, the complexes will not be broken at all, because they are self-made, not made by others. Now we go to the second practice of the zodiac. After the first year of practice, you stand with your arms stretched like this, and in this position close your eyes. Meditate yourself in the midst of a 5-pointed star. Remember that zodiac is not only of 12 signs. It is only for the poor astrologers that the 12 signs zodiac is restricted. There is a zodiac of 2 signs, a zodiac of 3 signs, 4 signs, 5 signs, 6, 7, 8, 9, like this. There is zodiac of 360 degrees and 720 degrees, half degrees. So from 2 signs to 720 signs, the zodiac is well described in the scriptures. So do not restrict yourself only to the 12 signs of the zodiac, like the poor astrologer. Now in the second year, again from March 21st, daily stand in this position at the time of sunrise. Close your eyes and meditate upon the 5-pointed star, and try to imagine how the Lord is feeding you with the matter of your body in 5 forms. You should have an idea of the 5 forms of matter. They are called solid, liquid, fire, gas and space. It is not good to use the word space, because even in this scientific age, which is called space age, 99 of the foremost Science professors misunderstand space as an empty entity. Still there are primitive scientists who believe that there is vacuum in space. Still they can believe that they can create a perfect vacuum. It is unfortunate if scientists believe today also. Vacuum exists nowhere in this world except in the mind of those who believe it. There is electromagnetic charge even in the so-called vacuum, and let us try to understand space in positive terms. Therefore, the spiritual scientists use another word for it. They call it ether.